I'm Morgan, Honeybee Stitcher. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, hello, welcome. Thanks for clicking on my video and hanging out with me. Like I said, my name's Morgan. You can find me on Instagram as well as at Honeybee Stitcher. This is my little corner of the Flosstube world for cross stitch. I have some WIP progress and a lot of haul that's come in, and then I guess some plans for the next couple of weeks to chat about. So I don't think this is going to be overly long, but I wanted to come on here, also draw the giveaway winner from my last video. So yeah, I just thought I'd come in and say hi. So we are in the process of finally finishing off some reno work over this weekend. Tim has been painting. I have not been helping. But I am going to work on that. So I want to try and churn through this quick enough that I can still go and help. But if I can't, that's very convenient. Other than that, it's just been a kind of a busy couple of weeks. I don't really have very much to share in that regard. It's just been busy doing stuff like house stuff, and it's been really hot. The last couple of days haven't been, but any chance that we've had to go for a swim at my parents' place in the pool has been taken advantage of. So yeah, it's just been a very cruisy start to the new year. We do have a trip booked in a couple of weeks, which will kind of be our summer break, even though it probably won't be summer anymore. So that'll be nice, something to look forward to. Otherwise, other than that, just hanging out at home, finishing off a bit more of the house and stitching. So I thought I would start with drawing the giveaway winner from last week. So I was giving away my hard copy version of Quaker Turtle, as I also purchased a digital version for it, and I work off an iPad anyway. I was hopeful that the digital version would work on Pattern Keeper by now, but still no luck there. ORETM have opened up an in-person little needlework shop in the US, so rightfully so, they are a little bit preoccupied. But with purchasing that digital copy, I no longer need this. So Tracy Wright, I will comment on your comment, but you are the winner of Quaker Turtle. So yay, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you stitch that one up. If you could please either reply to my comment or send me a message on Instagram so that I can grab the details and send that one along to you as soon as I can. That would be wonderful. In regards to what I have to show today, like I said, two projects with some progress on them, and then a lot of haul. Some stuff that I've been waiting on from the US has come in, which is very exciting. And then a couple of plans for the next few weeks. Not going to lock anything in except for one chart, which I've spoken about the last couple of weeks, but I don't have with me. Otherwise, I'm just going to see where it takes me, but I do plan on trying to touch a few projects of mine that are current WIPs and even some new starts. So anyway, first things first, I will show you is the progress that I have made. I can't take this out of the package because I've already ripped from the sticky. I'm sure you can probably see that there's some colouring there, which is great. But I have been stitching Crystal Mermaid Aquabella from Bella Filipina Designs. Erin at Erin Stitches and Yarn on Instagram and I both were talking about the fact that we had Bellas that we wanted to start, and I was still kind of kitting things up, but I had enough. I had the fabric, I had the chart, and I had enough of the floss where I was going to start. So we both decided we'll just jump right in and tackle our first Bellas. So I started in the middle on this one, and what I have worked on so far is this section of her, which you'll see. I have taken her off the Q-snap and I have packed her away. But this, ooh, I might fold it in half again. Okay. This is where I'm at. So it is, apart from one bugle bead, are they the long ones? I think that's it. Apart from one bugle bead in this space, this is completely done in regards to, there's no back stitch, so all stitching, Krynic and beads are done in this section. So I didn't realize that there was a little bit more of the blue underneath this section. So I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit that I didn't keep going, but it's on a different page. So this is pretty much almost an entire page finish except for some of the pink bands around it to go. But overall, I am loving it. I am not loving the Krynic. That has not been my friend. My stitches, like my regular DMC stitches, have been laying so damn nicely. I've actually been, like when I've been stitching, I've been so obsessed with how good they've been looking, and then it gets to the Krynic and it just ruins everything. It calls for Krynic 8, but I could get only Krynic 4 in all the colors. I know that there's a shortage. And then when I did some research, it said 4 is obviously thinner than 8. And with the fact that I was doing it on 32 count, 4 would work great. So I was happy with that. But I'm still hating it, and I've just actually looked really closely. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this on camera, but I've got like pulls in the Krynic and I didn't even realize. So I'll have to go back and fix that. I think there's like 6 or 8 Krynics in this, and I think I've used every single one of them in this section alone. So that's been fun. I don't know if a conversion to Petite Treasure braid would work with how many colors there are, but I think in future I might look into trying that on another design in future and see if that maybe makes a difference. So I'm stitching this on 32 count till I come home by Fiberlicious, which is the called for fabric. So I just thought I'd show you. It does this gradient from teal to dark blue, which is how it is charted. So looking forward to working up here. I have been stitching her on an 11 by 17 Q snap. I think from memory it will fit from top to bottom in the Q snap. No, it'll fit. I think the whole thing will fit from, if I remember correctly. At the very least it will fit in the width. So that's why I decided that I'm going to bead as I go, because I could fit it. But I want to work on her top section here first and get that over and done with, just for preference and ease of how I'm actually holding the Q-snap and how I'm working on it that way. So that'll be where I pick her up next, but I'm not sure when that might be. I have also just seen the new release from Bella Filipina, which is I don't remember the name, but it's an amethyst themed mermaid. I am an amethyst baby. I'm a February baby. So I saw it and purple was one of my favorite colors. So that was the first thing that grabbed me, and I think she's a beautiful mermaid. And then I saw that it was amethyst based and I just went, well, it's meant to be. So I will purchase that. I do actually have a piece of fabric that's come in for haul that I think, if the measurements work, might actually work really well with the chart. I did get it for another Bella. I'll talk about that later. You know what? I'll talk about that later, because I've got some stuff in my haul that kind of goes with it all. Anyway, we'll move on to my next WIP. So last video I spoke about doing the 2022 Stitches sale, which Busy Bee, Silly Me, I think I got that right, Beth was hosting on Instagram just as a way of, instead of doing a new start for 2022 like everyone normally does at the start of a year, putting in stitches into a WIP and a current WIP instead. So I picked up my eye candy, which I've left the cover book where I was stitching, so I'll try and insert a photo somewhere, maybe here. I picked that one up in January and I stitched just over 2,000 and I think it was 2,100 stitches in the first week of 2022. And then Mallory Ray and I were both kind of thinking the same thing without ever really discussing it together, which was quite coincidental. We had both decided that we'd probably continue doing 2022 stitches in a WIP throughout the rest of the year. I am going to do it every month and try and get it done in the first week of that month, but no pressure. I just want to hit that 2022 stitches as the minimum. And so I started this one on the 2nd of February, and I'm at 1,400 stitches so far, and today is Sunday the 6th. So still at the afternoon, and it'll take me a couple more days. I won't get any stitchy time in tomorrow, so a couple of days, but that's okay because I just want to get that done and then I'll move on to my next project. And 2022 stitches of white in a chart that has over 30,000 stitches of white is a very welcomed little goal. So I haven't done anything on this other than continue working on the white in the top left corner. So this will help again. This is where I'm at. So I'm still, working on this whole top section. So I think it's from 8 to 13, because I don't know why I numbered them, but I think it was when I was counting it. From 8 to 13, I think those rows are done of the white. And now I'm just kind of working in this section. I've gone down a fair bit on the side just to keep building up that side border. And then I think what I have been subconsciously doing is picking a solid square and working on that. So I've got a little marker here to say that I don't know if you can see that. That square is just pure 100 stitches of white. So when I pick this one back up later on today, I'll probably start there, and then that way I'm not relying on Pattern Keeper and I can watch the Olympics or Survivor and just knock out 100 stitches there, and then it will just work my way down as I go. And that's kind of how I've just been stitching these last few rows. These ones pick up and run a lot more white down the border. So what I have been doing, which is probably very strange, but it's been working for me. I don't want to take this off the Q-snap because of how I've got it all set up, and I want to really focus on this whole section. But I don't think I've ever spoken about this on here, I'm not sure. I have bad wrists and bad thumb grip. And I've had it for years from old jobs and old injuries. I've broken a wrist from falling and everything. So I get my wrist can get really tired and really painful, and I don't lose grip. I've never dropped anything, but I do get a lot of agony in them. So sometimes holding a Q-snap for too long or something that's heavy, and this isn't heavy yet because it's not very stitched on, but can get very heavy to hold or uncomfortable to hold. So I like working in the bottom section of a Q-snap, but I like the fact that I've got this whole thing on display. So I've actually been stitching this upside down. So when I've been stitching, and don't worry, the first thing I checked was if my X's laid the same, and with how I'm stitching it in a 10 by 10 block, and I'm going row by row, my stitches are all coming out even. But I've been holding it like this and then working in this bottom section and working my way up. And then when I am ready, I'll probably work on this bit, just because this was it was so hard to hold on to and to stitch and to reach over here. It would just hurt my wrist. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of a weird thing, but it's been working and everything all looks like it's laying the same. So I think I'll keep at it. But like I said, this is another 1,400 stitches so far for Feb. And I think I'm down to 28,500 white stitches. 1 second. Sorry about that. My mother called and I haven't spoken to her in a little while. So I'm going to keep working on eye candy, getting in that 2022 stitches, and then probably won't touch it again until March, but we'll see where the wind takes me. Other plans that I have relate to this beauty, which is Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Mathews, that I am hosting a stitch along with on just all of Liz Mathews Quakers with Evelyn at Evelyn Across the Pond. Last I shared this, I had miscounted and done a half stitch instead of a full stitch, as this is over 2 linen, 40 count over 2. So I picked it up the other day. I had the urge to actually frog it and re-stitch what I could. Now, the leaf is counted off the wrong count here, which is annoying. But I think because of the gap in between, I'm just going to leave it, and then I'll pick this back up, work on some more border, and actually finish off the writing. I am doing a conversion on this using Megan at Georgia Girl Stitching's conversion. This normally says All Hallows Eve. Megan stitched it saying Autumn Harvest. So I'm actually doing that because we don't celebrate Halloween here. So that way it makes it a bit more universal. So I have one more pumpkin to finish over here and a crow, which I've got 1 stitch in, and then the words and the border to match up. So this one here I can get done relatively quickly, at least before our autumn itself. So that's my goal. So I'm going to pick this one back up for a little bit, get a bit more of this bottom section done. And then I showed this last time, but I'm going to start Pisces but Nora Corbett on my birthday, which is the 21st of February. A few people, I think a lot of people are born around that time, around the 22nd, proving to be one of the more popular days in the community and with people that I know. So if you're a Piscean or you have this chart and you want to stitch it, I'd love for you to join me. I am starting it, like I said, on my birthday, and I'll use the hashtag It's Pisces Season Sale, I think. I don't know, whatever I decided, I'll put it up on this. I did put it on my Instagram story. So, an Instagram post. So I'll reference back to that one. I'm stitching that one. I'm going to try and do a skin conversion using, let's see if I can try and even show these, the AlmondMNM's Skin Collection silks. Going to try and incorporate those into her skin tone instead of the DMC, just to try and use a bit more stash. I don't have the full DMC list for the chart, so I'm just going to use what I can from stash where possible, except obviously I did buy the chart with the beads, so I already have those, but I'm not going to buy any other DMC. I'm just going to do a conversion. So then moving on to haul, I had a bit of a big load of stuff from the US come in. I have enough AlmondMNM silk to be buried in with this and what I already owned, but I did purchase the December floss box from Yumia, and that one did come in, and then there was other orders in there as well. I don't really know how else I'm going to be able to show this, apologies for the crinkles, but these are all the floss that came in the box. There's also some other specific specialty threads. I think all but one that is in here is just standard 6-ply silk. I think there's possibly 1 or 2 actually that are 12-ply silk. I would have to say that Fire Poppy is, let's see if I can get that to focus. Fire Poppy has proven to be my favorite. I don't think that's gonna, oh, let's see. No, I'm not gonna try, my face is in the way. But this has definitely proven to be one of my favorites. It's got pinks, reds, oranges. It's kind of like a, Fire Poppy is correct, but I think also like one of those really, really beautiful tropical sunsets. And then the other one that I have found that I really like is Unicorn, which is a bunch of, no, it's not going to work for me, purple, like really pastel purple blues, what you'd think a unicorn mane looks like. So they're a couple of my favorites. I'm looking at Marsh as possibly as substitute in one of the blues, but yeah, so there's quite a few in here that are very beautiful. With that also came some specialty threads and floss that we received. So this is, I think it's a 50 gram hank, and I think it's a 6 ply, but this is called Blood Orange. It's got these beautiful pinks and purples. I've picked a chart for this, and Mel Rouvray also has it too. We haven't discussed anything further just yet, but I think I'm going to stitch Our Forest Embroideries Pomegranate Quaker. Pomegranate Quaker with this one, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do the whole thing, just letting the variegation take its place, take its course, or whether I kind of do some strategic stitching with some of the motifs, maybe making it a bit more single color based, but I think that's a perfect chart for it. And then some of the other things that came in the floss box. So this is Purple Sage 2 ply thread. It is the cutest little spool of thread. I don't even think you can see it. It's so thin. Ooh. I just like the spools. This one is called Firefly, and this is 1 ply, so it's even thinner. But I'll just show you the colors. You can probably see that little strand of thread. This one is Peacock Feathers, and this is 2 ply. So that's purples and blues. And then last, this is Heliotrope 1 ply. This is a really pretty, kind of looks cotton candy-ish, very flossish. Purples, pinks, a little bit of orange and red. So they are to challenge us and push us out of our usual stitching comfort zones, and I am very excited to give those a go. I don't know what I'm going to stitch with them yet, but I think I will try and find some just monochromatic samplers or smaller pieces, Quakers. I want to try the Amu Special 56 count 1/1 with the 1 ply and see how that feels. So we'll give that a go. Kaylee cross stitch. Kaylee got the box and was posting every day. So I every time I was going through my stories and I saw Kaylee's name come up, I'd very quickly cover it because I didn't want it to stay in my story feed, but I didn't want to see until I got the box and could experience it myself. But she recently posted on her Instagram that she had given 56 count a go and was working on a WIP with that. So it's cool to see other people trying it now too, but I want to try it. I've just got to find some 56 count somewhere that I can get into Australia without having to deal with UPS or USPS or whatever it is. And then some more AlmondMNM's that I got in this bag comes with a chart that I got, which is After the Rain from Hello from Liz Mathews. This chart has a collaboration piece to it. So she has collaborated with Shannon, the Soda Stitcher, Julie, Kansas City Girl in Colorado World, Sarah of Stitchy Sarah Reads, Kia from Kia Bee Quilting, Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Liz from Hello from Liz Mathews, Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, and then Yumi from AlmondMNM's. Everyone has kind of created their own color palette, and they're all using DMC except for Yumia and AlmondMNM's. So I purchased the set of floss from her for this. The other one I really want to try is Julie from Kansas City Girl in Colorado World. She took the avenue of it being more a chalkboard piece, so she stitched it on a chalkboard fabric and then did very pastel DMC colors. So I want to also stitch that. I have some plans for this one to do a couple of different pieces for different people in my life, either incorporating a name or a word in one of the rows or something like that, maybe using some other typography from Liz Mathews, and doing different color palettes and things. I feel like this is a very flexible and universal chart, so if I ever know of someone having a baby, this would be the perfect one to stitch with their name if it's a girl, or if it's a boy, changing the colors to a boy color palette if that's something that they want, or, you know, neutralizing it. I think it, to me, it needs those bright, vibrant colors to have that positive kind of uplifting feel to it, but there's so many different avenues that you can take with it. So I brought that one. This actually came, like, I brought the chart itself from Abby at Top Knot Stitcher. And then the floss, sorry, I didn't want to open this one beforehand because I would get everything muddled and confused. And I don't know how easily I'm going to be able to show all of these. I'll do a bit at a time. So these are just some of the colors from Yamia's box. They are available in her shop. I think there was just an After the Rain bundle that you could purchase. So that green, just kind of all of them. They're just so pretty. And then there's then, hang on, these. So that's honeydew, so it's got a bit more green to it than I think what is showing. No, it's kind of showing up. So I don't know how else I'm going to show these all in one. I might have to just pull a photo from here. So there's one lot of colours. Mixing in with these. So I think the colour palette that it comes with from Yamia's selection is very, very rainbow but neutral. I don't know if you can see them all. But they all go so well together, and then there's a couple of pops, like there's this orange that really pops, and this blue that really pops, but then you've got the muted and neutral, I should say, not muted neutral. So you've got pink and purple, and then you've got a neutral. So I'm very excited to stitch that and start that, and all the plans that I have with that chart, but I'll get to it eventually. Some more charts that I got. So I got this Be Welcome from the Black Needle Society. So this is a Black Needle Society original and exclusive. This is designed by Katie Landis, and it says, "Friends will always be welcome." So I plan on stitching this one for my entry. It does have specialty thread called for with Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, but I think, again, I'm just going to probably stitch this with some silk or something like that, just whatever I've got lying around and stash and conversions. This color here could be possibly a good honeycomb, or even something like this. So very many options here that I've got in front of me. So that one I will start eventually. Another chart that I got was Luna Mystica from Bella Filipina. So I'm just starting to build up my Bella Filipina chart collection wish list. Haven't got anything else with that, but I have been trying to incorporate my fabric of the month clubs and things like that with what could potentially work with that chart. So originally there was I think it was my Fiberlicious order came through, and I was thinking that there would be something in that, but I actually think it might be that I asked Leslie. So I'm part of Fiberlicious, but I'm also part of Under the Sea Fabrics, Fabric of the Month, and Leslie posted one, and I think it was for either Luna Mystica, maybe it was green, and I asked for it to be a lesser count so that I could do it for Sol Tropica, which is the opposite of the of Luna Mystica. But then I also saw a Friday special from Color Cascade Fabrics. So this is Lavender's Blue, and it's a 32 count Lugana. So it's like blue with some purple to it. And now that I'm looking at it, I think it might be too light, just so you can kind of see the top and the colors that are in it. I think this might be too light, or like too close to the colors in her, because she's got blues and everything, but it might work really well for Amethyst. by Bella Filipina, if it will fit. So I'm gonna hang on to that one, keep it close for when that chart eventually comes in, and we'll see if that will work, as to whether or not I start that one instead of starting something else at some point, but we'll see. And then lastly, this is probably my most exciting purchase. I also managed to score the Autumn Lane Stitchery project bag that was in one of the Black Needle Society. I think it was the Autumn Stitching. Oh no, it wasn't. I can't remember what box it is. They've just posted about it again. Cozy Stitching box, I think, is the one. So yeah, I managed to score that one. No idea what I'm going to keep in it. Probably Quaker pumpkins while I'm finishing it off. But yeah, otherwise I need to go on a spending ban for now, and just wait on things that I've purchased to come in. But otherwise, yeah, if you're wanting to stitch Pisces, I hope you'll join me. Otherwise, I will check in a couple of weeks when I'm back and ready to do so. If you're not already, please feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there, or responsive to DMs and comments. And hit that subscribe button, and that way you get notified of any other videos that I post when I post them down the track. But otherwise, thanks for hanging out with me and sharing some time with me. I hope you've made some good stitchy progress. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.